Hi everyone, Karen here again. Today we're going to be making the second card that I came up with the stamp set that I designed. So this one's going to be a pop-up card. The heart is on the front. Here's to you feeling better. And when you open it up, the can and the soup pop out. I thought that was kind of fun. I have to thank Betsy for the idea of adding the soup and the bowl to it when I was working on this set. So we're going to make this one today. So once again, go to the Etsy shop and you can buy the set, download everything, put it on your machine, whichever it is, Scan and Cut, Cricut, Cameo, whichever one you have. So that's all going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to start with once you have everything cut out. So what you should cut out, you should have a 5x7 card base, which you will score in the middle. So this is 10 by 7, and you score it at 5 to make your 5x7 card base. You'll then have the heart with a solid heart, and you can cut that out in whatever color you want. You'll have a Here's to You Feeling Better Soon, and the map for that. The inside of this card says, until then, just rock those PJs, which I thought that's kind of fun. Then we have the bowl of soup and the can of soup, which you can do as color or black and white and color it in yourself. Then you will have this for the front and the yellow, which will mat and layer to make the front. And then you will have this piece is the mat for the inside, and that one you will fold in half. Then this is the piece the cutout is. So let's go ahead and get all these glued down so they'll have time to dry, and then we will fold this. So we'll start with the until then, just rock those PJs. And there is a top and a bottom to this on the mat layer. And it's not symmetrical. All right, we'll let that dry. Those are fine. We'll put glue on here. All right, that's in the middle. Then we'll glue down the heart. And with this heart, if you didn't do a print and cut on it and you just told your machine to cut it out without printing it out first, you would end up with a heart that you could use for other things that are matte and layered. Because I know sometimes it's hard to find a heart that's matte and layered, but you absolutely could use this. Just don't print it out first. Just send it through as a cut, and it'll do it. All right, so we'll let all this dry. Let's go ahead and glue this on. And I did take a little micro dot stencil to put a little something something on the plain gray paper, so it wasn't so plain. That's the only other thing I did, and that's completely optional. And if you used a print on here, you wouldn't have to do that either. But I thought since I left this one plain, this just has like a texture paper on it, I would put some dots on this one so you could see what the difference would look like. All right, so that's in the middle. And now this one I did flat. You know what? I think I'm going to stick it on foam this time. That way you can see what the difference would look like if you did it flat or if you did it on foam. I'll stick a piece of foam here. One here. All right. All right, so this will go in the middle. This will go here. And we'll take our card base and we'll put this on first. I would recommend with any kind of pop-out card that you do the front first. I think it's easier before you put all the insides in there. Then you have a nice flat surface to work with. Yeah, so the first one I did flat. And then this one's on foam. I think I like the foam better. And this one also has a little bit bigger border than my original that I made. So this is what the SVG looks like. This was my prototype. All right, so the front of the card's all done. So now for the inside. All right. So when we look at this, so when it comes out of your machine, all the lines will be cut. So all we have to do is fold it. So you'll see on the edge here, this is the middle part. But you don't want to fold it all the way across. You just want to pick either the top or the bottom and just start with your folds. So you'll fold that, and then you can fold the middle. Then the next fold is here. And that goes up like that. Then you have the soup, which folds back here. And then folds up. All right, then you just want to slowly, gently fold it, and this should match. This will all fold flat. Okay, then when we open it, there we are. So this will get glued to here. All right, so I'm going to glue the bottom first, because this is a lot more of a flat surface, and a lot more real estate to deal with. So you just glue that. And you want this all the way up to the fold. And you want to center it. So equal distance here and here. All right, get that in the fold. And fold it down. And depending on what kind of glue you're using, you want to give it a moment to grab. All right. Alright, so now we'll fold this down. So now you only want to glue up here. Let me grab the fine tip bottom. I can be a little heavy-handed with my glue, so this keeps me from doing that. So we're going to go up this and down here and down here and across here, because you don't want to get it here where you're folding. Go right up on the edge, and we're going to fold this down. Now, that's our mechanism. Make sure that's all nice and in there. That it's not pulling. You want to check your fold here, make sure it's not pulling, because your card will rip. So make sure that's in there nice. That's in there nice. Okay. So next, we have our soup and we have our bowl. One thing I'd like you to know about the way I do pop-up cards, I like to have the base that you're gluing it to slightly smaller than what you're gluing on top. It just makes it easier. You're not going to have to worry about any of this sticking out. So any kind of pop-up card, this one or any ones that I do in the future, what you put on top is going to be slightly bigger than the base you're gluing it to. I just think it makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about being so exact gluing it down. A little wiggle worm is a good thing. All right, so we're going to glue this down. All right, I'm going to lay this back so you can see it. So you just want to put it down all the way to the bottom. Put it down there to where you're covering all the paper behind it. And we're just going to close it. Give it a good rub. All right, so there we go. The bowl is attached. It slid up a little bit. I'm using the Collel glue, and that does take a moment for it to grab. But I'd rather have the second to move it around than when you put it down and realize you put it in a wrong spot. All right, so there's the chicken soup can. We'll close that, give that a rub. All right, so now that's all attached. Oh, and see, I still got a little heavy-handed with my glue. We'll just rub that off. Now this will go down here on the bottom. All right, now all we have to do is glue this to the inside. So I'm going to take glue all over here. I'm going to slide it into the fold. Make sure it's in the center. I do this without sticking my head in the camera. And we're going to close it. Okay, now we're going to flip it around. Make sure that's in the fold really good. Glue. And there we go. We are done. Just make sure this is all sitting in the fold really well, so that way the card will stay up. If you don't get it in the fold all the way, it will pull your card forward. So there it is. All done. So I hope you enjoy this card and make lots of them. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the Get Well set. And until then, till we make the next one out of the set, stay crafty.